Just over YouTube channel.
Mr. Young, thank you for your service.
We're live now with the refreshing control.
Okay. All right.
That was
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. I got it.
it's bright. It's really bright. Well, all the way from Carolina. How are you, Dennis? Life is good? No, pretty good. I'm like, I think we went to saw the picture from the book. Really? Yes, it was a good time. So, it's really good to see you. No, I don't have anything to do. For me in general, yeah. I think so. Because our son is down in type 1 diabetes, we've been very careful. So this is the first time I've been out except for the 20-year bill. And then otherwise I haven't even been here. This is the first time I've been in the bill. I can't tell you a lot of what's going on, but I think so.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. The last name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I greet you again, Assalamu alaikum, which means may the peace, blessings, and mercy of Almighty God be upon you. Today I would like to share with you verses from the Holy Book, the Quran, the Book of the Muslim. God tells us in the Quran, in this book, in this chapter and verse, this ayah and verse, you are the best of people, evolved for mankind, enjoying what is right and believing in God. These are the ones who will achieve success. Then Allah says in chapter 49, verse 13, O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know each other, not that you may despise one another. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is the one who is most righteous, has the greatest taqwa among all of you, and realize and know that Allah has full knowledge, as well acquainted with all things. Allah finally says in the Quran, in chapter 3, verse 104, let there arise out of you a band of people, divided to all that is good, and enjoining what is right, forbidding what is wrong. These are the ones that will attain happiness and that will attain felicity. So these verses from the Quran teach us diversity. Diversity is our superpower. It also teaches us evolving and growing from stage to stage in the way of God. And found the need to rise up, to take our own problems for ourselves. On this opening day of this graduation, we ask Allah Almighty, God Almighty, to help you in all of your future endeavors. Amen.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Claire Feldman, and I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees for Hartford International University for Religion and Peace. And it's my privilege to see you all here in person, because this is our first in-person graduation in 2 years. Yes. On behalf of the board, I want to extend congratulations to our wonderful graduates, their family and friends who celebrate with them today. I also want to welcome especially Ambassador Andrew Reverend Young and Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum. It is an honor to have you all here. I have to tell you something that happened to me this morning. I got up at the hotel and decided I was going to go downstairs and get some coffee. Put on my yoga clothes, went out the door, and who do I run into? Ambassador Young and another gentleman. And I say to myself, should I introduce myself as chair of the board or not? I'm standing here in my sneakers and my yoga clothes, but I did it. I introduced myself, and Ambassador Young, as gracious as always, asked me if I would have breakfast with him and his colleague. And I said yes. So I went downstairs and we had absolutely a wonderful conversation. He charmed everybody in the restaurant, of course. And I will never forget the opportunity to talk to somebody I consider a hero. But I will also never forget that I did it in my yoga clothes. So graduations are a time of reflection and anticipation. They're also a time of celebration, as I said before, not only for the graduates, their family and friends, but the HIU community as a whole. Our HIU board, our outstanding faculty, and our dedicated staff who have helped get our graduates here today. And instrumental in our graduate success has been our president, Joel Lohr. I have worked with many remarkable, gifted, and talented people in my life and my work here at HIU. But one of the most, if not the most gifted and remarkable people I have met along the way and at this wonderful institution is Dr. Joel Lohr. It is my privilege to introduce President Joel Lohr to the graduates and this community today.
What do you say to that? Wow, thank you, Claire. It's very kind of you. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom aleichem. Peace be with you. Also with you. It's good to be here with you, even though we happen to pick the warmest day of the year so far to wear what feels like a winter coat, and in what Canada we call a toque, a winter hat or a beanie. It is a warm day, but it is a good day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Congratulations to you, graduates. To the family and friends of our graduates here today, let me also greet you. Hello, how are you? I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining us. Alumni, you also are here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the mission that you live out each and every day of your lives, making the world a better and more peaceful place. To the friends, ambassadors, and supporters of HIU, greetings to you. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do. We couldn't do what we do without you. To our faculty who are here, our staff who are everywhere and have worked really hard to make this a beautiful event, thank you for all that you have done. You are an amazing group of individuals. I am honored to call you my colleagues. I'm humbled to call you colleagues and friends. To the trustees, especially to Chair of the Board, Claire Feldman, it is wonderful to have made you my friends. Thank you for the work that you do, that you volunteer for us at Hartford International University. To our speaker, Ambassador Reverend Andrew Young. I always have to add the word reverend. I don't want people to forget, much like Martin Luther King Jr., a reverend, a minister, and we're going to hear a little later in his speech how his life as a minister, but also as an ambassador, mayor, peace builder, he's a great guy. All sorts of things you can add to that list. Thank you for being here. Michael Ryan, former president, already got away with giving him an honorary doctorate all the way back in 1987, robbed me of that privilege, but we will give him an honorary or an award today that is very meaningful and fit for our guest speaker. Graduates, most importantly, graduates, you are tenacious and inspiring. Can I get another round of applause for this great group? This year, like the year before it and the one before it, has been unrelenting. Believe me, I get it. I really, really do. Some of you here are in fact graduates from a previous year, class of 2021, class of 2020. You too have made it through the pandemic, although it feels like it hasn't quite left us yet. But you graduated without being able to be here in person, and so I want to acknowledge you today. Thank you, congratulations. Dean David, yes, let's acknowledge them as well. Dean David Grafton will acknowledge you formally in the program in just a moment. But to the graduates of 2022, your achievement today has come through a great deal of hard work and hardship. But I hope that your degree and your certificate has also come with a great deal of fulfillment and maybe even joy. I see Becky smiling along. I think there's a lot of joy in that person right there. You're a joyful people. I'm honored I get to spend time with you. I also pray that this moment marks an important juncture in your journey, one of courage and hope. One of my favorite leaders in this country is an incredible lawyer and author, former First Lady of the United States of America from 2009 to 2017, Michelle Obama. I'd like to quote from her today because she inspires me, and I hope that her words inspire you, especially as graduates. She says this: "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." Courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. At Hartford International University for Religion and Peace, we have a vision for peace that is deeply rooted in education as well as in love, justice, and hope. It is a courageous place to be. I am convinced that our mission to serve God by preparing leaders, students, scholars, and religious institutions to understand and live faithfully in today's multi-faith and pluralistic world, that's our hope, that's the mission, has never been more needed in our world today and in our country. I say our country. The truth is, the word "our" doesn't come naturally for me. As many of you know, I'm not an American citizen. I am what they at least used to call a resident alien. As a Canadian living here in the United States, sometimes I feel like an alien. I live here with my dear wife Teresa and daughter Abby, and we often wrestle with life in this country. And I think it's because we care about it so deeply. I thought about all of this, our life here in America, and I've come to the conclusion that there really is no better place to use the humble gifts that God has given me and my family and all of us to work for meaningful change in our world. I can think of no better institution than this one to live out a mission for peace and reconciliation in our world. Graduates, you are graduating from what I believe is the leading graduate school in our country, possibly our world, for the study of religion and peace. We may be small, but no one does religious and peace studies like we do. Our history is a testimony. You can clap for that. As I walked in today, someone said, "Things continue to change." And I said, yes, the only thing that hasn't changed is that things change. We are a place of history and a place of firsts. They are a testimony. The first then seminary in America to welcome women in 1889, some 133 years ago. We're proud to be the first institution of higher education in our country to start a center for the study of Muslim-Christian relations in 1973. Institution of Higher Ed to start an accredited Islamic chaplaincy program in 2001. The first university or seminary at that time in the country to establish a chair for Shia studies and dialogue among Islamic schools of thought in 2015. The truth is, our accomplishments have not stopped there, especially when you look at the work of our expanded centers, the Howard Thurman Center for Justice and Transformational Ministry, under the able leadership of Bishop Dr. Benjamin Watts. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the excellent work that continues under Miriam Therese Winter's leadership for the Center for Transformative. Point out our incredibly talented faculty, including some of the world's most renowned scholars, including people like Amy Jill Levine, Mona Siddiqui, and all of these amazing people you see right here. And so you are graduates. graduates, you are being etched into a long and important history. Do you get that? You are part of something special in this country and in this world. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that I get to be here. Not proud in an awful way, proud. I'm just humbled to be with you and be here as part of this history. This is a place revered around the world, and I can tell you stories about traveling the world and people rolling out the red carpet, which was so hard for me. But they love us around the world. Congratulations for graduating from this place. I'm just saying all this stuff because I'm president. You're going to meet two amazing alumni, two alums here today that will prove it to you. If you don't want to believe the president, believe them. We're honored today to hear from two amazing HIU alums who I think have embodied all that we've been talking about and all that we aspire to be. Both are very dear to me, and I'm honored to call them friends. To introduce our main speaker and help me present an award to him, I'd like to introduce to you alumna Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum. Dr. Tatum is a national and international leader in both higher education and in racial justice work. She's President Emerita of Spelman College in Atlanta. She's the incoming interim president of Mount Holyoke College, because she likes to keep busy, I guess. She is the author, most importantly, in my view, if you haven't read this book, well, she's done a lot. Most importantly, it's an important moment. Read her book, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria, and Other Conversations About Race. Dr. Tatum's credentials are far too many for me to mention, but let me say these two things. Beverly graduated from HIU, then Hartford Seminary in 2000, with a Master of Arts in Religious Studies, but also important to me, she is a dear, dear soul. She's the sort of soul who says, come stay in my apartment with me in Atlanta. Thank you for that. She's a great host. She's down to earth. She's kind. She's loving. She's gracious. She's all that I hope I can aspire to be in my life, and she's bringing peace into our world. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Beverly Daniel.
Thank you so much, President Lohr, for such a warm introduction, and good afternoon to everyone. I am indeed a proud graduate of HIU, then Hartford Seminary in 2000, and it was with great enthusiasm that earlier this year, I nominated Ambassador Andrew Young for a Lifetime Achievement Award. This year marks Ambassador Young's 90th birthday. Which was celebrated in Atlanta, where I live, and where he is revered by many. Indeed, Ambassador Young is revered nationally and internationally, not only because of his legacy of leadership at the right hand of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights era, or because of his 2 terms of service as mayor of Atlanta during the period of exceptional growth as an international city, or as a congressman representing Georgia and Washington, or as ambassador to the United Nations during the Carter administration, or as an international businessman leading numerous delegations to connect with African leaders across the continent, but also because he has been a messenger of global peace for decades and an inspiration to generations of young people following in his footsteps. Even now, at the age of 90, Ambassador Young, who was ordained into Christian ministry in 1951, continues to serve as pastor for global mission at First Congregational Church of Atlanta, where I am a member, and where he has been a member since 1961. In this time of war abroad and strife at home, Andy's is a voice of optimism and faith. And you can hear it every 3rd Sunday if you want to just live stream. Continually reminding all who will listen to God's amazing grace and power to bring us back together in fellowship with one another. At this moment in history, and at this time in Ambassador Young's life, I can think of nothing more meaningful to him and to HIU than to recognize our distinguished alumnus with a Lifetime Achievement Award. And so, with the unanimous support of the Board of Trustees, and on behalf of the faculty, students, staff, alumni, it is certainly my immense privilege to join President Lohr in presenting to you Ambassador Reverend Andrew J. Young with Hartford International University's first ever Lifetime Advocate for Religion and Peace Award. Ambassador Young.
I walked on this campus in 1951. I'd never been on a seminary campus before. I didn't know what to expect. I was met by a great big red white boy who looked at me and said, "What's a nice fellow like you doing on a campus like this? Are you running from some woman or are you trying to stay out of the army?" And the truth of it, both were true. I was already trying to figure out whether or not to be a conscientious objector, and I had been given a fair warning by my girlfriend at Howard University that if I considered the ministry, she was through. I really was lost. But that was the most welcoming thing I could think of. I said, these are crazy people just like me. And I walked around and I saw people who looked different. And they looked like all over the world. And finally I wandered into Dean Tertius Van Dyke's office. And he didn't know me. And I said, "Excuse me, but I'm living on the campus as a guest, working for the Connecticut Council of Churches and the National Council of Churches youth work, and I'm going to be on this campus at least till the end of the semester. I wonder if it would be all right for me to sit in on a couple of classes." He said, "Well, if you can sit in on 3, we have something called the Rockefeller Brothers Fund for the Negro Ministry. And nobody ever asked for it." He said, "But I think you qualify." And he said, "If you'll sit in on 3 classes." So I sat in on Old Testament with Moses Bailey, Bill Bradley with Philosophy of Religion, and Alexander Purdy in the New Testament. And those were my 3 classes. And I had the time of my life. I learned more than I'd ever learned before. In fact, I don't even remember who gave it to me, but it's sort of been my mantra. It was a little book by Thomas Kelly, a Quaker, supposedly mystic. I don't know what it is, but what he was, but there's a paragraph that has kind of guided me through life. It says something like, and this is remembering from 1951, and at 90, I can't always count on my memory, but it said something like, "Deep within us all, there is an amazing inner sanctuary of the soul. A quiet place, but a speaking voice, Eternity is at our hearts, pressing against our time-torn lives, warming us to an astounding destiny, calling us home to himself. And I found that in times of trouble, and there have been many in these last 60, 70 years, that those words always speak true. That I've been led through many dangers, toils, and snares, but I've never been hurt. I've never been scared. I didn't have sense enough to be scared. It wasn't courage, it was insanity. But I have been in the presence of miracles. Birmingham, Alabama was a miracle. It changed the entire nation. Selma was a miracle. It changed the right to vote, and I got elected to Congress essentially because of John Lewis marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And it was by some strange act of God that I walked into Harry Belafonte's office asking after Martin's death, what do we do? And he said, the last conversation we had with Dr. King, and he said Martin, was how to turn the energy of the movement into politics. And he said, you were supposed to be finding somebody to run for Congress. And I said, well, nobody wants to run. And, well, it wasn't really healthy getting into politics in those days. I mean, almost a lot of people got into politics got killed. If you want to look at the book I wrote about it, there's a section in there called The Politics of Assassination. And it's not just Martin Luther King and John Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. There's a list of a dozen people who died around 1968 mysteriously. And people in their right minds didn't move toward politics. But Harry didn't give me a choice. He turned around, picked up the phone and called his wife and said, see if you can find a weekend when Lena Horne and Tony Bennett and Sidney Poitier are in town. And she said, what for? And he said, we need to have a fundraiser. Fundraiser for who? He said, Andy's running for Congress. I said, not me. And he said, well, there ain't nobody else. And that was the criteria for my call. But it was the same call that led me to this campus. Because I didn't want to be in church work, but my pastor had me drive him to a conference, and everybody there was white but me and him. And they wanted to have an interracial youth program. And he said, well, I'm the pastor of Central Congregational Church. You don't have anything to do for the next 6 months. Looks like you're the volunteer they need. And so that's how that volunteerism sent me to Hartford Seminary. And I walked on this campus not knowing why or where or what was going to happen, but I had an educational experience that I think very few people in any institution anywhere in the world can match. I took a class. Well, I didn't even take a class. I demanded a class because we used to argue all the time. Those of us who had to wash dishes in the dining room and shoot pool in the basement, we'd argue all the time. And I said, you know, you from South Africa, you're from South Wales, you're from Japan, you're from German Switzerland. And my roommate was from North Carolina, and he was a white Baptist Quaker. And I'm a black Congregationalist from Louisiana. I said, we got the whole world here in our hands. And this ought to be organized into a course. And we went to the dean, and the dean said, you know, this sounds wonderful. And he asked Bill Bradley if he would convene the class. And then the anthropologist, I forgot the South African who was working on a doctorate in anthropology. But we had a German anthropologist who said, I want to sit in on that class. And we had a Southern Methodist from North Carolina who said, I want to sit in that class too. So we had 5 students from different parts of the world and 3 professors from different parts of the world. And we met every Friday afternoon, supposedly for 2 hours, but it usually ended up being more like 4. We had absolutely no agenda. And we would argue about just about anything. And the professor who was in charge of the library had a very interesting theory. And that is that you don't need to read the big books. He said everything written in a book in 500 to 700 pages, whoever it was wrote it in an article that's just 25 pages. So he developed the library at this institution as essentially a library of periodicals. And so anything you needed to read, you could go to the periodical and read the 25 pages and know everything that's in the 500-page book. That's how hard to be a genius. And people think I know everything, but I didn't know everything, but I knew how to find out everything. And I didn't even have a computer or a cell phone. And I had to go to the library and stand in line and go through the file and look for the articles. But it taught me how to learn, and it taught me that all things are possible. That we don't need to know the answers. That we're guided by the questions. We're led by the challenges. That God calls us unto himself by the needs and the hunger and the thirst for righteousness. And I hope all of you all learned that, because that's what's here. And I was lucky enough to have been at the right time, right after the Second World War. The Japanese theologian had been a lieutenant in the Japanese Navy. And so we really had the world in our hands. And we realized that God has the whole world in his hands, or her hands. And there is a righteousness that is seeking reality. And we as a people in these United States are perhaps more confused than ever before that I know in my 90 years. I grew up with an Irish grocery store on one corner, an Italian bar on another. The headquarters of the Nazi Party was on the third corner, and a Chevrolet dealership around the fourth corner. But I knew the world, and I felt comfortable with people hailing Hitler 50 yards from my birth, because I understood that white supremacy was a sickness. And my daddy told me you don't get mad with sick people. You don't get mad, you get smart. You don't win fights with your fists, you win fights with your brains. And the lessons that I've learned here and from here with Martin Luther King and everything that's happened in New Orleans, I could go on for hours about Jimmy Carter, but I won't. But he was a Christian who translated the gospel of peace into reality with the Panama Canal Treaty and the fact that Israel and Egypt have not killed one another in over 50 years since Camp David. And nobody in their right mind would have taken that on. But Jimmy Carter wasn't in his right mind. Jimmy Carter believed in Jesus, and he believed in miracles, and he was open to the spirit of the Buddhists and the Hindus and the Muslims, and he kind of knew what God was hoping that this nation could do. We really came close, and we got a long way to go yet. But I thank you for giving me my start, and this is a relay race. So I don't have a baton, but if I had 100 batons, I'd throw them to you all, you know, and tell you to keep on keeping on, and God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Ambassador Young, for those inspiring words, for that image of an international chorus that you experienced here so many years ago. And now we have the opportunity and the privilege to hear that international chorus once again, as we'll hear from the Sherman Street Band. Some of our own students from around the world will be singing Breathe and Tranquility.
Para tu child, I feel fine. Lighted by a wall, let the light, that's how I come alive, that's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Just breathe your name upon me. Just breathe your breathe. Yahweh is your name. Breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me. Breathe.
Now that's an international chorus. Good afternoon. I am the Reverend Dr. David Grafton, Academic Dean and Professor of Islamic Studies and Christian-Muslim Relations. And I represent the faculty as we present to the President those who have completed the requirements for our leadership certificates, our graduate certificates, and our degree programs. Hartford International University of Religion and Peace is an educational institution where a consciousness of God is cultivated and shared. We believe strong religious institutions and healthy communities of faith are necessary to the well-being of individuals and society. We affirm the goodness of religious differences that exist in the world, and we support faithful living in a pluralistic and multi-faith environment. We are committed to the pursuit of knowledge and academic excellence at the same time, to the understanding of religion and spirituality as they are lived out in daily life, to the exploration of issues of gender, race, and class, and to education that integrates the many dimensions of human experience. Now we realize that over the last 2 years, many of our graduates did not have the opportunity to gather as we have today with their classmates and their family and the staff and faculty to celebrate their achievements throughout this pandemic. And we have mourned that loss. However, we have invited those graduates from 2020 and 2021, to come back today and be recognized as successful graduates of then Hartford Seminary, now HIU, and as alumni. I would like now to recognize those graduates who are with us today. When I call your certificate or degree program, please rise and be recognized and remain standing. The graduates from 2020 and 2021 of the Black Ministers Program, graduates of the Women's Leadership Institute, graduates of the International Peace Building Program, and of the graduate certificates. All right. Let's give them a round of applause. I would like now to invite those graduates from 2020 and 2021 from the Master of Arts in Transformative Leadership, the Master of Arts in Religious Studies, the Master of Arts and Graduate Certificate in Islamic Chaplaincy, and the graduates of the Doctor of Ministry program. Please rise. We are proud of you all for your achievements and for your fortitude to succeed through this pandemic. God bless you all. Thank you. I would now like to invite Bishop Ben Watts, Director of the Black Ministries Program, the Howard Thurman Center for Justice and Transformational Ministry, and Faculty Associate in Religion and Community Life. Is there anything more here? To introduce the first group of graduates who have completed the requirements of our leadership certificate programs.
Congratulations to each of you on this special day. And I add my thanks and gratitude and appreciation to Ambassador Young for being with us. Just a few moments ago, one BMP alum who came to greet Ambassador Young said, "When I finished, you didn't have Ambassador Young at my graduation." And I said, well, back then we didn't have the juice we have now. And by that I mean, I'm so grateful to President Laura and to Beverly Taylor for what they've done and bringing me. Through the Black Ministries Program, Hartford International University serves the community by providing a course of study that enables students to strengthen their faith, develop their biblical and theological knowledge, grow spiritually, and engage more effectively in the ministries of their congregations and communities. The persons receiving these certificates today have successfully completed 8 courses in the program. I will now present these candidates to President Lord to receive their certificates. The Black Ministries Program class of 2022 will now please rise and proceed to the podium when your name is called.
Beatrice Bell. Devon Foster. Janelle Harper. Floyd Hartfield. Heather Lloyd. Eleanor Williams.
Congratulations to the graduates.
I would like to now invite Dr. M.T. Winter, Director of the Women's Leadership Institute and Faculty Emerita in Transformative Leadership and Spirituality, to introduce the WLI program and its graduates.
Thank you so very much. It is so good to see and be back with you again. Through the Women's Leadership Institute, Hartford International University serves the community by providing an experience-based program that enables participants to develop and strengthen leadership skills as they explore feminist and womanist and holistic perspectives in religion and spirituality. The persons receiving this certificate today have successfully completed 9 monthly course seminars. The Women's Leadership Institute class of 2022 will now please rise, and each of you proceed to the podium when your name is called.
Novi Andriana. Kayleen Arvidsson Hicks. Janet Berdewick. Patricia Cajon Post. Roseanne Pinansky. Sarah R. Fitzsimmons. Sonia Gleason. Rita Regina. Jacqueline Jill Rito. Lorna Sager. Hannah Somali. And Kathleen Volstock.
I need to say congratulations to the graduates of the Black Ministries program. Ben stole my thunder, but also congratulations to the graduates of the Women's Leadership Institute.
Next, we recognize the graduates of the graduate certificate programs, and I would like to invite Ida Mansour, the new Director of Field Education, to introduce the graduate certificate programs and their graduates.
Thank you. The following group of graduates has completed the requirements for our graduate certificate programs. Each certificate allows students to conduct in-depth master's work with university faculty and cultivate expertise in one of the 4 focused areas. This year's graduates are from the areas of Imam and Muslim community leadership, Islamic chaplaincy, religious studies, and interreligious studies. The recipients of graduate certificates will now please rise, and each of you will proceed to the podium when your name is called. Preeta Banerjee. Fateh Bear, Robert Dakers. Taliba Hassan. Sandra Labadia in absentia. Osama Malik in absentia. Osama Saleh in absentia. Heinrich Snyder. Omar Farouk Yigitur, in absentia.
Congratulations to the graduates of our graduate certificate programs.
HIU has cooperative agreements with Yale Divinity School, Boston University, Drew University, and Chicago Theological Seminary that allow qualified Master of Arts students to begin their studies at Hartford International University, and if accepted, to proceed to any of these cooperating seminaries to pursue a Master of Divinity degree. These next graduates will continue their education at our partner school and institution at Yale Divinity School. The students of our Cooperative Master of Divinity pathway will now please rise and proceed to the podium when your name is called. Allison Hagar. Trevion Smith.
Okay.
Congratulations to all those who have completed the Cooperative Master of Divinity pathway.
We now turn to the awarding of our master's degrees, and I would like to invite Phoebe Milliken, Faculty Associate in International Peacebuilding, Director of the MA in International Peacebuilding Program, to introduce the next graduates.
The Master of Arts in International Peacebuilding is a 36 credit hour, 1-year professional master's degree which develops students' capacity to build vibrant, healthy inter- and intra-religious relationships. Students develop inter-religious literacy and acquire constructive conflict intervention skills through a combination of service learning, traditional courses, experiential courses, and project-based learning. The candidates for the Master of Arts in International Peacebuilding degree will now please rise, but remain in your places for the degree conferral by President Lohr.
Such a good group of students. These students live on campus. They're amazing. By the power vested in me, and they still have work to do, by the way, which is why we're doing it this way. They will finish their projects this summer, but we have the obligation to confer their degrees now. And so congratulations to you in advance as I confer this degree. By the power vested in me, by vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in International Peacebuilding with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Each of you will now proceed to the podium when your name is called to receive your diploma and be hooded in recognition of your achievement.
Fatima Basharat. Imran Bandar. Danai Hiapostolu. Yazid Kamali. Marty Rothman. Abdulwahab Mujahid. Anastasia Nikitara. Eamon Ormseth. Johannes Parapala. Mbeki Yonana.
Congratulations to all those who have completed our Master of Arts in International Peacebuilding degree.
The Master of Arts in Interreligious Studies is a 36 credit hour degree that provides persons the opportunity to study and examine the scriptural texts, theologies, beliefs, and histories of religious communities within a multi-faith classroom context, and creates opportunities to hone and develop their academic skills through the successful research, writing in defense of a thesis, or by developing a community project. The degree prepares persons to take on a leadership role in a community setting, prepare for another professional degree, or to go on for further academic study. The candidates for the Master of Arts in Interreligious Studies degree will now rise, but remain in your places for the degree conferred by President Lohr.
By the power vested in me by vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in Interreligious Studies with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Casey Elizabeth Koff Algazal in absentia. Jacob Hock in absentia. Andrew Hamaj. Mohammed Saleh.
Master of Arts in Interreligious Studies.
We'd like to welcome and invite M.T. Winter back to the podium.
Thank you. The Master of Arts in Transformative Leadership and Spirituality is a 36-credit program designed for those engaged in leadership roles, are serving in the public or private sector, or for those who want to deepen the understanding of how to live faithfully and with integrity in today's multi-faith and pluralistic world. The candidates for the Master of Arts in Transformative Leadership and Spirituality degree will now please rise, but remain at your place for the degree conferred by President Lohr.
By the power vested in me by the vote of faculty on the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in Transformative Leadership and Spirituality with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations.
All right, now please, both of you, proceed to the podium when your name is called to receive your diploma and be hooded in recognition of your achievement.
Gina Casetta.
So sweet.
Connie Jo King.
Congratulations to all those who have completed our Master of Arts in Transformative Leadership and Spirituality.
The Master of Arts in Religious Studies degree is a 48 credit hour degree that allows persons of diverse religious backgrounds to deepen and broaden their understandings of faith traditions, their own and those of others, to reflect on the challenge of diversity, and to meaningfully relate religious theory and spiritual practice to the context in which faith communities exist in daily life, community, and the world at large. The candidates for the Master of Arts in Religious Studies degree will now please rise, but remain at your places for the degree conferred by President Laura.
Vested in me by the vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in Religious Studies with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Each of you will now please proceed to the podium when your name is called to receive your diploma and be hooded in recognition of your achievement. Yasin Ahmed, in absentia. Mark Clinton. Amber Hyde. Logan Kareem, in absentia. Laura Miraz. Sajda Nube, in absentia. And Sharif Rosen, in absentia.
Congratulations to all those who have completed the Master of Arts in Religious Studies degree.
I would like now to invite Dr. Bilal Ansari, Faculty Associate in Muslim Pastoral Theology, Co-Director of the Master of Arts in Chaplaincy, Director of the Islamic Chaplaincy Program, to present those graduating from the Islamic Chaplaincy Program.
Yes. First, I want to give honor to our God. I want to give thanks to the president, to all the faculty, and to the Board of Trustees, to all of those who worked so hard to get here. May God bless your journey.
Amen.
The Islamic program for chaplaincy
it combines a Master's of Arts in a religious studies with Islamic studies and Christian Muslim focus, a graduate certificate in Islamic chaplaincy for a total of 72 hours of work. This pioneer program prepares Muslim chaplains to serve in universities, prisons, and the armed services. I will now present the candidates for this degree to receive their diploma. After each will be hooded by the friends and family. The candidate for Master's of Arts Religious Studies degree and the graduate certificate in Islamic chaplaincy is being awarded within the abstention. And that is, in fact, the Askan. And so in his absence, I just want to give a praise of shout. If y'all can just clap your hands.
Vested in me by vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Master of Arts in Religious Studies with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations to Fatih for completing the 72-hour Islamic chaplaincy program.
We now turn to our advanced level degrees, and I would like to introduce Dr. Scott Thumma, Professor of Sociology and Director of the HIRI.
So, the Doctor of Ministry degree no longer exists, and this has actually gotten sweeter over time because I'm now seeing people graduate who we had to extend their time here, but it's wonderful to see several of these folks that I thought would never show up here be here. It's doubly joyful because it took them doubly the amount of time. But it's really sweet to see, I tell you. The Doctor of Ministry is an advanced level professional degree and stresses the reflective practice of ministry, promoting entrepreneurial forms of religious leadership that are exemplified by innovative but practical projects informed by the communities that they're a part of, their needs and their social context. The candidates for the Doctor of Ministry degree will now please rise, but remain in your place for the degree conferral by President Laura.
By the power vested in me by the vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Ministry with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations, Doctor.
Each of you will now please proceed to the podium when your name is called to receive your diploma and be hooded in recognition of your great achievement.
Mohammed Sharaf. Haffenreffer. Eric Jackson. Sing Loon Niang. Pamela Peterson. Kristen Switzer. David Santiago. Linda Spears.
Congratulations to all those who have completed our Doctor of Ministry degree.
Finally, I would like to introduce Dr. Hossein Kamali, Professor of Islamic Studies, holder of the Imam Ali Chair in Shia Studies and Dialogue among Islamic Schools of Thought, who will present the candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Yes, finally. The Doctor of Philosophy degree is the terminal or highest attainable academic degree. graduates in the Doctor of Philosophy are considered to have reached the top level of formal scholarship in their respective fields by the faculty, and upon completion of their program are considered peers. This year, and this is important, this year we celebrate the very first PhD graduate from Hartford International University. The candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree will now please rise, but remain at your place for the degree conferred by our president.
By the power vested in me, by vote of the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the standing of HIU as an accredited educational institution located in the state of Connecticut, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all of its rights and privileges.
With his dissertation, A 17th Century Ottoman Shaykh al-Islam, Zekeriya Zadeh Effendi, Yahya Effendi, and his contributions to Ijaratain and Ottoman land tenure. Congratulations, Dr.
Congratulations to our first PhD graduate.
All right. Dr. Dugan, Ambassador Young, President Lord. I am Timur Yuskayev, Associate Professor of Contemporary Islam and editor of the Muslim World Journal. I will edit that out. Every year, the HIU faculty awards scholarship prizes as nominated and voted on by the faculty. Today, we acknowledge our prize recipients and celebrate their accomplishments. This year, the faculty has voted to extend 3 new prizes, which reflect the history, identity, and values of Hartford International University. We begin with the Heart-Ranft Prize, awarded to the degree program student who has demonstrated excellence in written expression. The prize is named for Chester David Heart-Ranft, president of the seminary from 1889 to 1903, and professor of biblical and ecclesiastical history for 36 years. Our recipient this year is, this is a big deal, right?
Of course.
Kira Jenny. Kira, if we're here, can you rise up? If not, we rise with you. For the paper titled, Reimagining God Out of the Closet, toward an expensive queer concept of the divine, nominated by Dr. Dina Grant. Our honorable mention this year belongs to Shazana Durrani. Shazana, if you're here, you know that we are here with you. For the paper titled Colonial Theodicy and the Reflective Practice of Decolonization in Chaplaincy, nominated by Dr. Hans Harmakaputra. It is my honor to also speak about our new prize, named after Adelaide, his name's a corner. Adelaide Locke. This prize is awarded to a degree program student who has demonstrated notable proficiency or interest in the field of scriptural studies. Candidates for this prize are nominated by the faculty. The prize is in the name of Adelaide Locke, who was part of the second class of women admitted full-time in 1892. During her studies at Hartford Seminary, Dr. Locke won prizes in Hebrew, Greek, and theology. Later, she served as the professor of biblical history at Wesley College until 1924. This prize goes to, are you ready? Heather Brubaker. For the paper titled, Whose Pain Matters? Theodicy and Gender in the Book of Job and the Tales of the Prophets.
I am Dr. Lucinda Mosher, faculty associate. Excuse me, you've taken my voice away. I am Dr. Lucinda Mosher, faculty associate in chaplaincy and interreligious studies, and co-director of the Master of Arts in Chaplaincy program. The new Ibrahim Abu Rabia Prize is awarded to a student whose proficiency in Christian Muslim studies or commitment to interreligious relations is noteworthy. Candidates for this prize are nominated by the faculty. The prize is named for the highly respected professor of Islamic Studies and Christian Muslim Relations at HIU 1991 to 2008. He was the first Muslim in the United States to hold such a post. This prize goes to Sidra Mahmoud for the paper Theological Paradigms on Human Suffering, Human Crisis and Suffering, nominated by David Grafton. Sidra is receiving her prize in absentia. I also have the pleasure of awarding the Mahmoud Ayub Prize, awarded to a degree program student who has demonstrated notable proficiency in Islamic studies. Candidates are nominated by the faculty. The prize is named for a beloved Shia scholar who served HIU as a faculty associate of Christian Muslim relations for many years. This prize goes to Jacob Huck for the annotated poem Boundaries, nominated by Dr. Timur Yuskaya. He also will receive his prize in absentia. And also, we acknowledge today an Interfaith Service Award, known as the Seeley J. Terry Prize, awarded to a student who demonstrates a commitment to academic achievement and excellence in interfaith community work in his or her local context. This prize is given in honor of a cherished employee of Mr. Sanford Cloud Jr., who was a former chair of our Board of Trustees. The award is a monetary prize in addition to copies of the sacred texts from the three Abrahamic faiths. It is my honor to introduce Mr. Sanford Cloud.
Thank you, Dr. Motion. President Lord, Ambassador Reverend Andy Young, Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum, Madam Chair Feldman, and members of the Board of Trustees who are in attendance, Dean Grafton, and distinguished faculty members, friends and family of the class of 2022. The class of 2022, I am delighted to be here and be able to join you in this first in-person graduation ceremony in 2 years. As a degree holder in the Masters of Arts in Religious Studies, I'm also know the excitement of receiving your degrees today. And I want to extend my congratulations to you, the class of 2022. I know that this is a very special moment of high achievement for you, your families, and your communities. HIU for Religion and Peace is a very special place of higher learning here and around the world, ever evolving under the leadership of President Lord. I hope and expect that you use your learning to really make this world a better place for all of us, not just some of us. Congratulations to you. I'm here today to present the Seeley J. Terry Prize, named in honor of my longtime assistant of some 26 years who passed away in the spring of 2004. A Christian by faith, she learned through our work together over the years to respect and embrace other faiths and faith communities. She believed strongly in interfaith work and interfaith communities. So this year, the recipient of the Seeley J. Terry Prize goes to Imran Bondi. As a child, Imran Bondi survived interreligious violence in his hometown of Poso in Indonesia. As an adult, he is committed to building strong relationships between Christians and Muslims in Poso to prevent such violence from happening again. He is starting with children and with books. Few children in Poso have books at home So he has founded a community library called Rodu Indeya. Abraham believes deeply that fiction is crucial for developing imagination, and imagination is critical to peace building. For how else can we envision a world that is better than the one we have? Lodi and Denga is developing partnerships with other community libraries which will allow Christian and Muslim children to imagine a better world together. Ibrahim, I invite you to come to the podium.
This is the 5th year of our Preaching Award. This award is given for the most outstanding oral presentation of thoughts, beliefs, and values from among our MA and certificate students. The winner of this year's Preaching Award is Anthony Hill from the Black Minister Academy. Anthony will receive this prize the next month.
To all of our graduates and their families and their supporting communities and their professors, congratulations. I would also like to invite you all to a reception following the meeting right out here outside, as well as in the meeting room. We have some gifts for you from the Alumni Council. And with that, I'm going to ask Amos List, Reverend, soon to be Doctor, I hope. Reverend Amos List, to say a few words on behalf of the Alumni Council as we conclude our ceremony. Please welcome.
Wow. Go ahead, Doc. Yeah, I'm not a doctor yet, but soon, right? Soon. It's great to be here today. And I can tell my kid I have the pleasure of meeting the great ambassador, Young. I often do get to say that. After President Laurel and Ambassador Young, it's hard to come up with any inspiring word to tell you, but I'm going to try. After all, I've been in your city a couple of times, 2010 and 2012. Since I've been there, I know the feeling, I know the hard work you put in. But I'm not asking you all to stand up with me. All the graduates, just the graduates, come on. Please, come on. Thank you, thank you. I know that you guys study hard, right? But I want you to also know that these people behind you, around you, they also did the hard work. They put up with you. They supported you. They have to listen to you complaining about your teachers. So I need you to put your hands together and start thank you for all you have done. Thank you. Maybe sit. So you guys chose to come to Hartford Seminary, or now HIU. Hey, we move up in the world, y'all. We're in university now. Alright? So I search. We know that your primary motivation to come here is not money. Don't get me wrong, we want you to go out in the world and make money because we want you to give some of it back to us. Right? We need you guys, as you live here, Before you leave, give us your email address, right? The one that you use, the one that goes to your phone. Don't give us the one that you don't use, because we need to know what you're up to, and we don't ask you for money. There's no shame about it. I'm not telling you we need you to contribute, right? Because this place has done so much for you. Therefore, please give back. $10 a month is not too much. What's that? 2 Starbucks coffees? $10 a month, 20, 1,000, whatever you can give, we'll take it. And go online, the website, put your credit card, it's automatically done for you. It can be monthly, weekly, however you want it, we got you. We're in university now, it's a different level, right? When I was here, it wasn't so. But, because we're here, right? So because you come here, money is not the primary motivator for success. Here we define success in a different way. It's the people you touch, the community that you build, and the relationship that you cultivate. That's how we define success here. So you've been here for a couple of years, some of you longer, because of the pandemic. You've juggled schoolwork and work. You put all-nighters. You made enormous sacrifices. You did papers, dissertation. You sat through countless hours of classes. You did it. You endure a difficult process. And you work out some of your beliefs. You found your voice. I found my voice here. And you found your voice. In the days of studies here, you've been formed into this form. Spiritually, intellectually, interpersonally, and theologically. You become more firmly rooted in your own tradition and have engaged in the tradition of others. You came here with great gift of your own. And now you're living here, acquiring a rare set of skills for pastoral care, biblical exegesis, for preaching, for worship, for peacemaking, for social transformation, and for leadership. In this world of today, those are skills that are really needed to make it better and more just world. I urge you to move forward. You are ready. You are Hartford Seminary or HIU graduate. You see, I'm still getting used to the new name. I urge you to find your passion and follow it. Don't ask what the world needs, as our chairman once said. Ask what makes you come alive and go and do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And I believe you have come alive. Today, go forth into the world as HIU graduates. I urge you to continue to embody the best of this place. The best values of this place. There are values to build stronger communities, to be a voice for the voiceless, to stand with those who are marginalized, to show kindness, understanding, compassion, and love to everybody, and to work for peace. Do not simply engage in intellectual dialogue about peace and justice, but I urge you to be about peace and justice. I urge you to move from a theology of mind and mouth to a theology of heart and hands. I urge you to love people more than you love your theology. So my charge to you is go into this world and live a life of service. In so doing, may you find joy. Thank you. I love you, and I love you.
So this concludes our formal program. However, before you go, we will have one musical number from our own Sherman Street Band. And this is a really special moment because if I'm not mistaken, is this the original piece? This is an original piece that they have composed for this occasion. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope that after the piece you will hear a beautiful prayer from Bishop Benjamin Watts. And following that will be our recessional, at which time you will come and join us for the reception. So please enjoy this piece followed by the prayer. And that's the end of the program after that.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you to the faculty and staff in the school for giving us the opportunity to make music here together. And I just wanted to say thank you to these incredible people standing around me who are not only amazing musicians and creatives, but really incredible human beings, souls, community builders, and none of this music would be possible without any of them. And music for us this year has really been the space where we've brought our imagination to life and community alive together. So just thank you so much to Mbeki Unana, Imran Bande, and Johannes Parihala, and we're excited to sing with you today. The second song is an original, and one of the first songs we sang also was an original that was very much inspired by all of the learning and relationships that we have had the privilege and honor to create together.
So the next song we'll be performing is Ala Ajabi. The word is a Hausa word, and it's a language that is spoken in northern Nigeria. And the song is a call to all of us that as we mark miracles in our lives, we mark events that we refer to as miracles, let's remember that we, each and every one of us, is a miracle. Got
this high celebration moved with the joy of having fulfilled the requirements of graduation. We offer sincere gratitude for the journeys of each individual, for their taking on the rigorous academic life, even while being shaped by their own personal struggles. In this now moment of shared joy, they are able to reflect and realize the value of struggle. We give thanks for every supporter, for everyone who gave a timely word of encouragement, for everyone who gave light in the midst of the darkness, for the countless, sometimes nameless, institutional supporters who kept up with the giving and generosity that sustains HIU. We give thanks for the tireless efforts of our faculty, our staff, our President Lohr, our Dean Grafton, and the entire HIU community, without whose work we would not be here. While we offer our thanks, we ask now that you bless these newly minted graduates who now are filled with the joy of the moment. May they also be filled with the awe of what is to come. Grant them now the knowledge that they must do something with what they received. Let them sense in this moment a feeling of commissioning as ambassadors of peace in a world ripped by violence. May they sense that if the world is to be better, then they must be better. May they leave here now with a mind of servitude, not to be served, but to serve. May they, in the words of my ancestors, ask of themselves the question, what do you want your Lord to say? And may they respond, well done, good and faithful servants. Help them to be such servants. Help them to live their best life by serving something greater than themselves. These are the thoughts and the feelings of our heart. Brood over them, and at thy will, inshallah, let it be done. Amen.